Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
I'm so disorganized today. All right, welcome everybody to the Commentary Zone Noontime Edition. As you enter the room, please don't forget to give us a little thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Follow us on Twitter so that you'll get another notification if the YouTube one doesn't go off in time. And thanks to everybody who has gotten us to just over 700 subscribers. We really appreciate it. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Did you see? Like, I think the last time I saw it, we were like at 705. So I was like, okay, I can officially say something now without jinxing it.
Right.
Okay, guys. Today on the docket, we have The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 2, episode 14. What the fuck? What'd you think about the episode, Jamal?
It was an hour and a half. I wasn't expecting that, so that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, you can really see things breaking down amongst some of the friendships, and some people are start going after other people just out of nowhere. It's like, whoa, okay.
Mm-hmm. This is what I was hoping for. This exactly here was what I was hoping for, because if they had ended the season with her arrest, I'd have been mad. Oh my God.
Right.
This is the real drama here. Okay, she got arrested, but then the disintegration of everybody else is what I was looking forward to. All right, so let's just see who's in the chat. Hey, Susan. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Black Lavender. Hey, Yanni. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Raydella. Welcome, everybody. Okay. How you want to go about this?
We can go through the episode. It just kind of just skim over the stuff that's not necessary, but still touch
Yeah.
on it.
All right. So at the beginning, it's a bunch of unnecessary stuff. How many sports cars does Jenny have?
I
Like, I
don't
seen
know.
the white Tesla, then she got that lime green lowrider thing. Wow. Maybe they need to start looking at Jenny.
And she has a legitimate business though. Well, we've actually seen an office. We've actually seen people doing stuff.
Well, he got a business, and she sold off the majority of her businesses. I think
Hmm.
she only got one or two left.
Yeah, like one or two. So she did really well for herself.
Mm, interesting. Let's see. So then, like, it's a bunch of them going about their business. And I think Jenny and Lisa, the first real scene is Jenny and Lisa going over to Meredith's house, which was a fluff piece.
Hmm.
And Jenny gets there first. Meredith asks her, like, how are things going with her and Dewey, and because they're picking up from when they went to go and get the fish manicures or pedicures. And Jenny tells her that Dewey's latest idea is the sister wives. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm really not interested
Mm-mm.
in Dewey or her or a sister wife. Just not. Lisa gets there. The vodka is flowing. Wasn't much on the food, but okay. I guess these people don't eat. Um, and then they decide to dress Jenny up in a patent leather bustier and a blonde wig and tell her to go home and make Dewey forget about the sister wife. Hey, Shay. No need to be sorry. We're just getting started. You know I'm always late. I'm from the Caribbean. Um, yeah, I don't want to see anything about a sister wife. It's not even that it's too boring. I just don't think it's genuine.
Right.
Um, did Jenny look attractive to you when they put her in that getup?
No.
Okay, I thought it was just me being a cow. Okay. You need the strength. She's been committed to her lives her entire. Wait, hold on. What y'all talking about? She's two-faced. Okay. Is Mary really that two-faced, or does she not remember how she was talking trash about Jen? And then Yanni says she's two-faced, Ryan. They all are. But she's so committed to her lies. Okay. All right. I don't know how many of y'all watched the Bravo after show for Salt Lake City. But Mary says she forgot that she said those bad things about Jen and Vale. But then turns around and said that she's not a person who would say mean things about people, but you do.
Right.
I think she's a liar. I think she has more than two faces. And I think all of them have memory issues because none of them can remember what any of the others' faces say. That's it. Then we see Jen going to meet. Oh, she's driving herself, which at least Heather found very funny because remember, Stu used to drive her everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And so she has to drive herself now because apparently they're not friends, or at least they can't talk to each other for legal purposes.
Right.
And I guess the business is shut down. She's talking to Heather, and she's telling Heather how she's been trying to contact Lisa. Lisa finally responded 4 days later, and she's on the way to meet with Lisa for lunch. Jen doesn't understand why Lisa is avoiding her.
Yeah, you're stupid for that. Stop it. You know why she's avoiding you.
But she says she talked to her like 19,000 times per day on an average of 3.54 minutes, I don't know, hours per call. That's a lot.
Right.
All right. So then Lisa gets there. And Lisa, I found she was kind of stumbling over how to say, but not say, that she thinks that Jen is innocent. It was awkward.
Yeah. I don't think she thinks she's awkward. I don't think she thinks she's innocent, personally.
Well, how could she? Because she was one of the only ones who understood what it was that Jen did for a living. If you understood it, then you obviously knew it was crooked. Bye, Yanni. Have a great day.
My thing is Jen is this. Now, who brought it? I think Lisa brought it up later in the show. I'm going to need Jen to stop proclaiming innocence on this one. I'm not sure if everyone feels the same way, or if it's just me or a small group of people. Like based on what we've seen and how we know the alphabets work, they're not coming for you for no reason. They're not coming to your house. They're not coming to your work. I'm going to need you to stop saying you're innocent because it doesn't look that way. I understand you can't. If you say I can't really talk through things as I'm in a legal situation, I can accept that. I can understand that. But if you run around proclaiming innocence and like you're gonna be vindicated, I'm like, where is this vindication gonna come from? Who's giving it to you?
Look. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. We're going to find out what happens in March if it isn't postponed again. I'm saying this all with big caveats here. Because it's already been postponed once. She was supposed to go to trial in October, November-ish, sometime this fall. So then it got pushed back to March of next year. We shall see. And she can proclaim her innocence. I'm sure that her attorneys are telling her, get the vote of the public opinion on your side. Yeah, we'll just have to see. But she technically she's innocent until proven guilty. I'm just saying that. And hey, Ebony says Lisa's a lie. Oh my Lord. Oh, good luck on your test, Yanni. Her innocence claims are not a good look. No, they aren't. But them charges ain't a good look neither. So this is a little smidge better. Look, 33% of this country believes, lies that they hear all over the place. She can
Mm-hmm.
find some people who might be on her jury who might believe what she got to say. It's worth a
Right.
shot. I'm just saying.
I mean, it's worth the shot, but don't be running around talking about don't be running around here talking about I'm innocent. I'm gonna be vindicated. Okay, how?
But look, I'm just going to put this to you, right? If we're seeing it this much in the final edit, can you imagine how many times she's saying it and it's winding up on the floor?
True. True.
Mm,
Then
mm.
I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah. So I think she's saying it every 2.2 seconds, and they're like, oh my God, really? At some point, they might be splicing together individual words to make a sentence that doesn't include what she's
Right.
saying.
She
I'm
probably
innocent.
she probably said they probably said like, you know what, she's gonna keep saying this, so let's give her a bone so we can
Yeah.
move on. Okay.
Yeah. I just figured that because if it's showing up this much now, I can imagine how much she's saying it. She's wasting a lot of people's time and footage. Um, Lisa and Jen go back and forth, basically each is trying to claim it's about them, and I didn't care by the end of the segment.
No, that was hilarious. No, it's about me. But no, it's about me. Like, how
Yeah.
did Lisa? How dare you like expect me to like how can I put this take in your feelings when you won't take in mine?
But did you see Lisa was like, this isn't about her arrest. This was about her yelling at me in front of my kids in the car after the photo shoot. You came into the Vail trip on that bus as if nothing was going down. You were
Nothing.
not upset. And then she got arrested, and then she called you from her burner phone, and you need an excuse to not be there for your friend.
Hmm.
Just saying.
But here's
Just
the thing.
saying.
Here's the way I look at it. You can like listen to your friend. Like you can be there. You may not totally believe them, but you can be there and listen and be there as like a person.
You could
That's
kind of
fine.
do what Heather's doing because, like, in her confessional, she's kind of saying, girl, what you did.
Hmm.
But she is still being there for her. Like, if you're supposed to be a true friend, like there's no harm in picking up the phone. Well, unless they take your phone records, or tap your phone or whatever they do. But Lisa, you waited 4 days to respond to her, and then we find out it was 2 weeks when y'all finally met to have lunch. So that's kind of stink. Um, and Jen ends off that segment saying she didn't know how she can trust Lisa going forward. Really? Okay, so now we're with Heather and we meet her older brother, Tyler. We find out Heather is the middle of 6 kids, and her older brother moved to Switzerland with his wife and raised their kids. But now he's decided that he's leaving Mormonism, and he's doing it because Heather did it. But then with Heather doing it, he started asking questions and started really digging into stuff.
Hmm.
And he didn't like what he came up with. And, he's going through it because I think he's going through betrayal by his religion and guilt because he brought his children into it, and he's saying that he feels like he raised them in a cult and it makes him feel like he's a bad parent. um, but he's also said that Heather did not tell him when she left. And Heather's thing is that this was my issue with my beliefs and my religion, and I didn't want to influence anybody
Hmm.
else with their religion and their beliefs and their core values. This was something that was just isolated to her. And I can see both of them.
Right, because she didn't want to unduly influence people because she didn't want anyone
Mm-hmm.
to go against their faith. because she said something. She wanted everyone to make their own decision. She made the
Mm-hmm.
decision what's best for her and her family. She didn't want to influence other people by pointing, going around beating the drum, pointing things out. She just wanted to stay in her own little
Mm-hmm.
bubble, be like, you know what, cool.
I like what she said at the end of the segment. She goes, "It's hard to be a role model and a traitor at the same time." And yet she still grieves for the life that she wanted to have. But he feels that Heather has saved his family.
Hmm.
It's so weird. Like, are, are all religions like this? Ah, it's so weird how they talk about once they're like finally ex-Mormons, how they talk about it.
I think
Like,
it's because it's like such a traditional family thing, and like it's more of a community type thing, to where you, how can I put it? It's like with Mormon, and from what I've seen with Mormonism, it's
mhm,
like people outside the bubble tend to criticize or look down upon, so it kind of galvanizes you together even more. So you become
mm,
that much more ingrained, because that's, it's more than a religion. It's actually like your like family. It's like a community. So when you leave, it's like a big deal, because pretty much probably your whole, most of your social life is gone, if not all of it, because they stick so hard together.
mm.
And these are like old generational families too. It's not like, for them it's completely different. Like your family's royalty, so you leaving is a huge thing. It's like a red flag to other people. I think that's pretty much where it comes from.
But that sounds like Scientology and not like other religions. I don't know any other religions that like, well, other than the people in Pennsylvania,
The Amish.
the Amish. Yeah, it sounds a bit extreme.
Well, no, not really. No, because you have to look with Heather. We're always focused on Heather and her family, and that's because they are royalties. So when you are pretty much the heads of something, when the heads leave, like let's go back. Think about pharaohs. Okay, they had their court and they had their advisors.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when the advisor for some reason ups and leaves the pharaoh, there's a problem. It's a red flag. So with Heather's family being like one of the heads of the Mormon, the community faith or whatever in Utah, her leaving is like, what's going on here? Then you have Whitney leaving, and these aren't just like quote unquote everyday Mormon people. These are like the Mormons. Like this is like the one of the families. So it's a huge deal. So
Did
the
Whitney
impact is
leave or
deeper.
did she get kicked out because of what she did?
Well, she wanted to leave, because if you don't want to leave, you don't do what she did. Let's be honest.
Or did she just get caught?
Mm, I mean, I think weren't they working together? So she didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole thing. They didn't care. They didn't care that much. Like, and I think
Mm.
I think she was married or they both were married. It was some kind of mess, and they just didn't care. I'm sorry. They wanted to
Okay.
go.
They wanted to go. They
They wanted
they
to
they
go.
wanted to live a life of sin and having sex
Yes,
on the Xerox machine.
correct.
Yeah, that's how old I am. Oh, God. Um,
Right next to the
all your
coffee.
yep, all your friends are gone.
Yes. Mhm.
I can't respect any religion that shuns its people for leaving or having differing opinions. I'm kind of with Ryan on that. I don't understand how people can disown their family and friends for leaving a religion or having a differing opinion. I don't know. That's
But you know what
maybe
it
it's
is?
because I've never been that religious in my life. I don't get it, and that's on me. I That's
You
kind
know
of
what?
harsh.
The way I look at it is like it's very passed down,
Hmm.
and they're slowly changing their ways from what we're understanding. But the change really doesn't happen until and I hate to say it this way, but it's the truth. The older generations die off,
Mm-hmm.
and the younger, more progressive, accepting generations take over.
Interesting. Unless they get corrupted
Hmm.
while waiting.
Right. No, what like let's they keep it going, but as generations move forward, they tend to want to
Oh,
keep up with the time.
oh, I'm sorry. You were. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Ryan. If you retracted it, it doesn't retract here on StreamYard. So I do apologize for that, Ryan. I am sorry. Um, but I'm with you on both of them. I'm with you on both of them. Okay, so next we go over to Shah Chalet, but not for too long. Um, it's the final night of Ramadan, which I have an issue with. And we see that they're in the middle of their prayer. Jen is there; she's covering her head. And then once they're finished their prayer, they go and they eat. Um, Coach Shaw asked Jen to come downstairs and talk to him for a bit, and he says basically they need to get rid of Shaw Chalet. They need to downsize, find something that's less expensive because they need to redivert money towards her legal expenses that are to
Hmm.
come, because they need to save money to fight for her freedom. Here's my biggest issue with this scene. This is the final night of Ramadan. Ramadan lasts for a month. She had lunch with two people. Did she order food and not eat?
Do we see them eat though?
I don't know, but she shouldn't be like tempting people or herself. Well, just her, because she's observing the Ramadan.
Right.
But wait, she's not fully converted, is she?
No, she is.
She is?
Yeah.
I thought she said last year that she was in the process of converting.
No, she said no. But last thing she said, she grew up this, and then I think she said she grew up Mormon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, did some research, and then converted to Islam.
Either way, she shouldn't be having nothing during the day from sun up
Only,
to sundown.
I think it's only water.
Yeah, you could have a few sips of water and that's it.
Did she eat? I didn't see her eat anything.
We never see the women eat anything, but if you observe in
Yes, we do.
Ramadan, I would only certain women. Heather, the Atlanta women, Candy don't miss a crab cake.
Nope.
Um, I don't know. Like I wouldn't do that to myself.
No.
Sun up to sundown. Oh my god. I admire them so much for doing that. I would personally die. And that's an exaggeration, but I would have serious problems. I would have serious problems. I don't know if I could do one day of that. And as you can see, I'm not good at intermittent fasting either. But yeah, so that was my only problem with that scene. That and that she was looking at Coach Shaw as if he was really speaking Arabic and she did not understand what he was saying, because she was like, "Oh, but we can stay here because we're the hub for all of our families. They come here, and I employ the majority of our families to the tune of $50,000 a month." Girl, stop talking dollars and cents.
Hmm.
You could say you're innocent all day long, but stop quoting figures on this show.
Right.
Um. So yeah. She went from $1 million in legal fees to $2 million in legal fees. Okay, girl, this is getting expensive. How many lawyers does she have?
Probably quite a few.
Did she ever get Kim K to be her attorney? I can't wait till she says that mess. Mm-mm. And it seems like Coach Shaw cooked. I wish we could have seen what he cooked. Oh God. All right. So now we see the scene with Lisa and Whitney at the Homestead Crater. They're going to go into this bottomless pool and do paddleboard yoga. And Lisa's trying. She's extending another olive branch to Whitney.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like Lisa's olive branches are just for TV.
They are.
And it's become more and more evident, especially in the faux scene. When she would go to throw Whitney under the bus, you would see the changes of expression in her face, like when she would say something that was derogatory or not good for Whitney. She would sit there, her face would freeze for a minute, and she's looking at Whitney to see if Whitney's catching it, and then Whitney would come back. But I don't think Whitney's looking at her. Like, Whitney's a little bit more natural in the little play game that they have than Lisa is. And I really caught it in this episode because I was kept on rewinding, trying to find a good scene for the thumbnail during the lunch. And I realized how bad an actress and how calculating Lisa is. If you stop frame by frame and you see the expressions on her face,
Right.
they're not good. They
No,
give
because you
her
can see it.
away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see exactly what she wants to do, what she wants to say.
Yeah. They talk about how they ended things in Vale. And then all of a sudden they jump over to Mary.
Right.
What is Whitney doing?
Well, let's be fair. What Whitney said was, "I can't. Like, am I in the Twilight Zone?" Basically, like, when people are we really act like this? Are you fake? And Mary just overheard that she has bat sonar, so she called Whitney out.
No, but wait, before we get to the lunch,
Okay.
when we're at the pool doing the paddleboard thing and her
Mm,
conversation with Lisa.
okay, we're still at the paddleboard. No, we're
Yeah.
at the lunch. Okay,
No, no,
sorry.
no, no. That's my fault. I jumped. But we just jumped onto the Mary train, and I get what Whitney is saying. Whitney is saying, well, Lisa brought the Cameron issue into this. So now I have questions and I have to go digging like a rat.
Right. And my thing is this: though, why is Lisa? Why are you mad at Whitney for going to the person directly, saying, "Hey, what
I
are the issues
wonder
here?"
that too.
She's like,
Like,
"How dare she talk to
she's the
Cameron?"
only person who could talk to Cameron.
Right.
And is she mad at Cameron for talking to Whitney? Because if you mad
Exactly.
at Whitney for talking to him, you got to be mad at your friend too for talking back. I don't know. And then, of course, we get Angie in here because Angie's the one who gave her Cameron number.
Mhm.
Lisa's face. I think she has just nullified Angie from her friend list. So Whitney says, okay, so wait. When she says that Mary and Robert are predators, is that what Cameron told her or is that what was online?
I think it was a witness who said it's online.
Okay, we have to be very careful of what we pass along from what we read online.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna take away her private investigator deputy badge because I didn't like that. It's one thing if you're saying what Cameron told you,
Mhm.
because I think she relays information well, whereas Lisa gets it all twisted. I
Mhm.
think Whitney can relay what she heard almost to the T.
Ryan says Lisa is mad because Cameron's supposed to be part of her storyline, not Whitney's.
Oh, I didn't even think about it like
Me
that.
neither.
That's a good one, Ryan.
I like Angie and bring her back. Yeah, Angie's cool.
I like her too.
It sounded
Um,
like Ryan says it sounded like Cameron confirmed what Whitney read online about them being predators. Yeah, that's the way
right.
I took. That's what I took from it.
Oh my God. And it seems like she's holding back quite a bit. Like what Whitney heard from Cameron, because she's like, if Lisa knows what Cameron told me, then there's got to be a whole lot more to the
Mm-hmm.
story, which is kind of scary. Uh, let's see. Oh, then this is what I don't like about Lisa. Okay, when she was talking to Mary, and as if she's behaving like there was no footage, Mary said in Vale when they was in the bedroom, see, that's where Jen is, where she is, and where I am, now, meaning the
Mm-hmm.
difference. Not
Mm-hmm.
that Lisa says, Mary says, see where she's at. It's She made it seem like if you attack me or my church, we coming to get you. And that's why Jen is where she is. And that's not what
Right.
she said. I mean, I know, like Mary said some things, but I don't remember Mary saying that about Jen in Vale.
It's the it's the it's the way she phrased it. Like basically, like, see, I think what she meant was, see, if you come out to my church, basically God don't like ugly.
Right, but that's not what Mary said. That's not what Mary said. Mary was more like, you see where she's at, and she's sitting in jail, like, kind of thing. That's where she's at. But
Right.
this is where I'm at because I'm not doing bad things. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think she was saying, you come after me, I'm going to sick my church and Jesus on
Yeah.
you. I mean, that's
Right.
the welcome tag, but
Right.
I don't know. I thought that those two statements were very different. And that's what I mean about relaying information. The game of telephone.
Mm-hmm.
I think Lisa puts her spin on it to make herself look better or validate something that she's saying, and it's not exactly what the person said.
Right. It's not the exact message.
Yeah. Yeah. Mary says a lot of things. I agree with Ebony, but I think this wasn't one of them. Um but anyway, now we go. It's the day of Jenny's event. She's having her pho. I always mispronounce this word. I love the food, but I mispronounce it. She's having her pho luncheon at the Peace Gardens, and we see all of the women try to get themselves together for the event.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gets there, and it's Lisa, Meredith, and Jenny. And then we see Whitney, Heather, and Jen walking down the path, and it's like the ultimate record scratch. And Meredith turns to Jenny and she's like, didn't we discuss this? It's like,
That
oh
was hilarious.
my
She could
God.
she could she cannot handle it. Her little mind cannot handle it.
But here's the thing, I'm going to side with Jenny. It's my party and I can invite whoever the hell I want to.
Right.
I'm not in your argument. I don't care. I want y'all to come and welcome to my Vietnamese culture and sit down and have some spring and summer rolls and some pho. And let's talk about this like grown folks.
Right. Exactly.
Um it didn't happen that way, but that
Mm-mm.
would have
Sure
been my
didn't.
intentions.
Right.
Um she really couldn't. She really didn't have a comeback for it in the moment. She had a comeback for it in the confessional, but in the moment, she was kind of like stuttering and muttering. But whatever. She then comes up with that the gathering is peaceful. Um, and Meredith turns to her and said, "Oh, she says the gathering is peaceful, and she doesn't want any drama. They can do this."
Mm-hmm.
And Meredith says, "You don't want any drama, but you invited the person that causes the most drama." I guess we're gonna get introduced to Jenny and Lisa being the biggest drama queens at this luncheon. So they all gather. Meredith decides to stay. She's going to be the mature adult in this and just, play. She greets Jen, which was amazing.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay. I'm with Meredith for this. All right. Mary's late, but we don't care. Mary can't find the Balmain jacket with the grommets on it, and nobody understands in her house what a grommet is. Okay. Ginny thanks them for sharing food with her, and then the courses start coming out. They get this mango drink with a pepper. Then they get the spring and summer rolls, and then the pho comes out. I was more concentrating on the food, but then they started ruining the courses by bringing up what happens in Vale.
Right.
And basically, I kind of agree with Meredith. Like, they were all there screaming about how badly they talked about Jen. I mean, she barely got out what happened to her. She tried to give her side of it, but then the finger pointing started, and you said this and you said that, and we was all in the corner with Jenny and Lisa was real damn loud. Real loud. So Lisa throws Whitney under the bus by saying she was sending texts on everything that happened. Heather was like, I was reading everything that I could about it. And Mary says, I didn't say nothing bad about you at all.
Love production. Roll that beautiful footage. Kerpow.
But
Live.
did you see Heather was like, and even Meredith was looking at her.
Right.
What now?
Right. And if you see Jenny just almost jump off her chair, she just could not. She couldn't handle it.
She went up an octave. She started giving seat locations. I was sitting right next to you, and you're like, that's bullshit. I was like, what?
Yeah, she could not handle it. Jenny could not handle that.
Where's the peace? Where's the
love?
I
mean, I understand her point of view. Like, you're not gonna sit here and just blatantly lie when we was all sitting there.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
He was like, bitch, you ain't gone yet.
Exactly.
Why is you calling me? Why is you still in this house?
Yep, that's the way I took it.
Oh my God. Meredith should just sit there and disengage. I think that's what she did, because basically they was just showing images of her looking this way and that, and it's just like she was stunned by what was being said. And then in her confessional, she was just like, we're doing more harm than good. We're saying is like actually hurting her, and you're supposed to be her friends. I think that I did the best because I'm not claiming to be a friend. I'm just not saying anything. And I think she had a point. Ew, that was a tough one. I like, even if you didn't support Jen as a friend, she's still a human being. Wow. Meredith looked at Mary funny, but she sure didn't check her. No, she didn't. And it is crazy. This is one thing I agree with Lisa on. Why doesn't she ever say anything to Mary?
Right. And she should.
That would have been her opportunity to say, well, Mary, I beg to differ. Exactly. Don't you remember when you said when we were at dinner and you had on that outfit, maybe, and your wig was a little twisted and pulled forward on your forehead? Maybe it was on too tight, but you did say. She could have said that. But then again, that would go against what she was trying to do. She didn't want to make it worse. I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. Because she's supposed to check Mary in that instance. Sorry.
But that would have been piling on. And I think Meredith didn't want to pile on. She could have pulled Mary to the side and said, Mary, that was incorrect.
Yes.
If you didn't want to pile on Jen, you could have pulled Mary to the side
Mm-hmm.
and then leave it up to Mary to correct the statement. Um, let's see. Um, at this point, Jen has had enough. Like she can't believe that they're all behaving like that, and these are supposed to be her inner circle. Um, so she gets up from the table and she walks away a bit. Mary and Meredith were off to the side already. When
Mm-hmm.
Jen comes walking down, Mary runs after and says, "Girl, you know I'm with you. I got you. I got you." And they sit down and they talk. And Mary says the statement of all statements, and I'm gonna let you say it because you comment on it before.
I mean, Mary said, "I pray that you are guilty." I mean, in a sense, what? What? I hollered. Sounds like Freudian slip.
No, that wasn't a Freudian slip at all. That was calculated. I think Mary says things to see what she could get away with.
Oh, that just took me out because you said what? I pray to God that you're guilty.
Oh my God.
and,
And then there was a long pause and she goes,
right,
"Oh yeah, innocent."
and Jen just looked at her like, "What?"
This is why they can't get rid of Mary. It's things like that is why she, yeah, I noticed all them water bottles in her closet too.
Mm-hmm.
That's her doomsday room. All that couture is gonna protect her. Um and then when she gets back to the table, right? All of them go back to the table and Heather says, "Jen, you know that we're all your friends here and we all have your back." And Mary goes, "Do they?" I was like, "Wait, what?"
Right,
Mary's kind of vicious.
right. All the while lying to this woman to her face. I can't
I
wait to the reunion.
know. I know. And Jen sat there and thanked her when she was saying, "I didn't say anything
Right.
bad about you." And Jen was just like, "Thank you, Mary." I swear, it's like kicking a hurt dog what they did to Jen at that lunch. It was kind of unnecessary.
But here's the thing. It had to be done. I'm sorry. It's
But
simply
like
because,
that?
I mean, here's the thing. They were always talking mad shit about you anyway. Like, let's call a thing. Let's call a thing a thing. And I do not like people who they were gonna talk mad shit about you, but when you're sitting in front of them, they're not keeping the same energy. Jenny was just like, look, there's nothing for us to talk this out, hash this out while Jen is here. So the conversation was just like, look, these things were said, right? They started off okay, but then it got real messy when people tried to throw each other under the bus, and then they started lying. Then they started lying.
Mhm.
Like Mary started lying about saying I didn't say that. Lisa was trying to throw Whitney under the bus because Whitney was the one who started the whole situation by saying, "Are we
Mhm.
really going to sit here and be fake?"
That starts off the next argument, right? And they are just like all going at it. And then at one point, Meredith gets up to leave. Lisa goes after her, and Lisa's freaking out and starts dry crying because I never see a tear come out of her eye. And she's like, "For once, can't you just be here for me? Can't you just stay and be here for me?" And I was like, "Okay, so you got her back to the table. You know the assignment. Nobody is supposed to leave this table of death," and brings her back. Um, and I love it. While Lisa and Meredith are fighting, Heather says to Whitney, "Oh my God, mom and dad are fighting. What are we gonna do?" This is why I love Heather. It's
But
true.
but Lisa had a point though. Like you're down to defend Mary like any way from Sunday, but when I've been your friend for 10 years, but you can't stay and support me, and she had a valid point.
She has a valid point, but I think Lisa is forgetting that Meredith is a person who collects bones. And I think she got some bones on Lisa, which has turned her spirit against Lisa. Or she feels really betrayed that her friend of 10 years sought out a relationship with the person who attacked her and her family.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I get the feeling that Lisa and Jen's friendship was unbeknownst to Meredith. Like this big bond that they had. Remember
Right.
how Jen was talking about it? Like I
Right.
had no idea that they were talking that much every day.
Exactly.
And about what? Is Lisa in on one of your businesses? Like what's the
I
like
told you, I wouldn't be surprised for it to come out that Lisa was an investor on some level.
I don't know. But like I said, look, if she hired a private investigator for text messages on Lisa regarding Lisa, what if other
But
things
what's
came
it?
up in
Was it Lisa or
conjunction?
Jen?
Sorry, Jen. What if other things came up that pertain to Lisa?
Like some threads that connect her to the situation. I can see that. I can see it.
And maybe that's why she's so frosty to her. And she's not going to defend something that she finds to be wrong.
And who's to say? And who's to say that Lisa befriended Jen not because she felt bad for her, but because like, look, I can't afford to fight with you. I got some money tied up in you.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember last year, everybody was mad at Jen when it was icing her out, but Lisa's like, no, I'm gonna reach out to her because everyone deserves a second chance. I'm like, and then at the reunion, you defend her about her business. I'm like, okay,
But
that's
if
interesting.
everybody deserves a second chance, how come you didn't employ that now?
Hmm.
She's a contradiction. She's a contradiction. So, Lisa wants Meredith to tell Mary to stop attacking her. Is Mary attacking Lisa?
They start going back and forth
Yeah, towards the end.
because Mary trying to talk to Jen and Lisa like hopped in with some opinions or a comment. So that set Mary off a little bit, and then Lisa's fired back, and they start going back and forth.
I I loved it when Mary said to Lisa, Meredith said to Lisa, "You've been screaming for the past 30 minutes. Stop."
I'm just going to talk to me in a normal tone. That was hilarious.
I saw myself in Meredith in a lot of parts of this episode. It's just like when they started screaming, all of them, I lost track. I really did. It was just one big wah 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 of nonsense. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so everybody returns back to the table. Heather tells Jen that they've made everything that she's going through about them. Um, and Jen says that she swears on her kids and her husband that she's innocent.
See, I
Your
didn't like that.
favorite. Heather says that she has people in her corner, and Mary says, "I wouldn't say that." And that was the end of the episode. It was chaotic. It was delicious. It was fast paced. It was loud. Lisa need a muzzle. Oh my god, she does. She does. I feel like she thinks that she has to be included in everything,
Mhm. She's like,
and
I'm the
sometimes you
center.
just need to sit back.
Right. Did you see Heather? They started yelling at her. She's like, I've been sitting here quietly, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was hilarious. She just sitting there on her. She did not move.
She was eating her food. She wasn't letting that go to waste. Yay, Heather. What did she say at one point? I brought my pink sunglasses.
My rose, yeah, she brought my rose-colored sunglasses. That's when she found out Mary's gonna be sitting next to her.
Oh my God. I loved it. And that was like really nice. Well, not nice. I thought it was kind of fake, but it was also nice that her and Mary started off the luncheon by
Mm-hmm.
just making up. And I
Right.
also agreed with Whitney, like, why couldn't she and Mary make up? But Mary know that you sniffing around, so that's why she ain't got nothing to do with you.
Right. She's like, you playing Nancy Drew out in these streets, so she ain't got time for you.
Mhm. Lisa and Jenny, them two at the top of the table was real effing loud. It was annoying to me. I kind of shut down. That and the fact I think Lisa's boring. And so
Well,
is
with
Jenny.
Jenny, well, here's the thing with Jenny. I understand. Here's the thing. Like, I get it, and the screaming. I it was it, them. I think they weren't sitting next to each other would have been okay. But them sitting next to each other amplified both of their screeches. So it's like, okay, no. But what Jenny was saying was true. She wasn't lying. It's just it was hard to take in what she was saying when you're like 8 octaves above your normal voice. So I get it.
Well, if Lisa would stop butting in all the time, people wouldn't have to elevate their voices to be heard over her. And then she keeps on talking, so she's elevating. And then the other person's elevating.
Right.
And it's just, and that's what I thought was coming from that corner of the table.
Right. Jenny was trying to say what she had to say, but Lisa wouldn't shut up.
Mm-hmm. And then Steven says, just like in the van at Beauty Lab, Lisa somehow makes it about her.
But remember, so, Lisa says like, my attorneys called me, and I think it was Whitney said, no, you called your attorneys.
Exactly. And then she said, no, I called one attorney and then my other attorneys that I didn't call called me. No, they didn't. You was on the phone.
Right
Let's pull
away.
the call records. Let's pull the call records. We'll see the incoming and outgoing calls, girl.
Because
Which
she jumped on, it was interesting she jumped on the phone so quick.
to attorneys.
Not to your husband. It was to the
Oh
attorneys
wait,
first.
she
She
one of
called
the
the
calls
attorneys
was
first.
her. She called
No,
the
she called the
attorney.
attorneys first.
Oh my
She
God.
called attorney one and attorney two first. Then she called her husband.
There's something that's so not kosher. I hate
And
to say
I wonder
that.
who she was texting before she called the attorneys though. That was that's what piqued my interest. And remember, when everything was broke out while they were in the van, she wasn't talking on the phone. She was texting. So I'm curious to know who she was texting.
But wasn't she calling Stuart too? She told Heather not to call, but she wound up calling Stuart.
Yeah, that was later.
Mm-mm-mm.
Because she said, should I call Jen and give her a heads up? And Heather was like, no, I wouldn't. No, I don't think you should do that. Lisa likes to control the story.
Mm-mm. This was a good episode, though. I enjoyed it. I was surprised that it was an hour and a half,
Yeah, that shocked me too.
and because I thought that they were including the Watch What Happens Live when I set the record. When does Jersey start? Doesn't that start in January or February?
Like January 12th or something. Something stuff in January.
Sure, it is in
The,
February.
the new episode of Salt Lake City comes out January 2nd. I'm not sure when. I thought Jersey was January.
January or February, one of the two, Ablavi, but it's soon in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, so this was the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season 2, episode 14. What the fuck? Great episode. What was any preview for next week?
I'm trying to think. There was. What was it? This is stuff that comes out. I can't remember.
Anyway, I'm looking forward to Miami.
Oh, Bobby said the promo came out. Gotcha. I gotta look for that now.
the promo came out for
The official trailer.
Trailer looks great, but disappointing we have 6 full timers. Oh, it's only 6. Oh. Dorinda put it out.
Gotcha.
Ooh. Black Dolores looked like she ain't fucking around no more.
I heard there was some tension between her and Teresa.
It looked like she was going at Jen just now. Wait, not who's the writer that got into the argument with Teresa last year?
Jackie.
Jackie, there you go. All these J names. I'm getting too old.
Yeah, I'm going to look at that. Oh.
Oh my. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna keep this up.
Bobby said Jennifer's about to lose her husband.
Yeah, there's a scene in there that looks kind of interesting with her and the good doctor. She should have been one that should have put together a business so she has something to fall back on.
Yeah, exactly. Or invested in a business.
Yeah, because that big old mausoleum that she's in ain't worth nothing with all them Chinese fixtures. I don't know. Yes, Dolores always looks put together. I don't care what anybody says. Her body is popping. The spray tan and the tanning machine is on and glowing. I love it. Jennifer's all right. They sell jewelry. Oh, she could go and work in the jewelry store. I forgot about that. Her family owned a jewelry store. And then she'll get alimony and child support.
Yeah, I think he's not going to divorce her. Not with all them kids, I'm sorry.
Or at least wait till they become older.
Correct.
And then, all you got to do is put a settlement on her.
Exactly.
And she'll lose that within a year.
Ryan wants to know, you don't think Jennifer... No, I don't think Jennifer's that bright. I'm sorry, I just don't.
Yeah.
She has a shopping issue.
Mm-hmm.
And a Blobby said Teresa is the lying scheme again.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, did we think anything was going to change? Wait. Do you think he fixed her body as a goodbye gift? Who's that? Dolores's boyfriend? Did they break up? Her and the doctor? But she wasn't even telling him about the surgeries. I don't know. Oh, Jennifer? Jen can always cash out her closet. Don't nobody want Jen closet with all that vomit and tequila all over it. That's okay.
The jersey's going to be interesting this year.
We said that last year and it was kind of a dud.
Well, it started off with a bang and just fell off a cliff. And that was what we feared that was going to happen. It was going to start like a bang and just completely fall off.
Yeah. Well, okay, guys, that was the show. We'll see you tomorrow. What are we doing tomorrow? Sister Wives?
Sister Wives, yep.
All right, so we're going to do Sister Wives tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Join us then. Bring all your sister wives and brother husbands with you. And we'll get to talking about that mess. I've got to watch that tonight. Oof.
Same.
Geez. Did anybody watch it last night? Was it good? I don't know. I think Dolores and the doctor did break up. No.
But are we surprised at that? No. Sorry.
Do you think that they were broken up last season?
I think we're getting there. I think they were slowly kind of separating.
Black Lavender says it was okay. Well, that means it's probably a filler.
Right.
All right. Well, we'll be here tomorrow to discuss the filler. All
Most
right,
definitely.
guys. All right. So, Jamal, any final words?
No, we're good.
All right. So until next time.
But of course.
Bye.